Okay, John, you ready to go?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, Mike.
What's up? What's up? What's up? You got the real Mike Ross here and my boy D Nice on the wheels of steel. What's up, D Nice?
What's up?
What's happening to my boy Jay Spence?
What's up? What's up?
What's going on, guys? You have another installment of Dollars and Decisions TV. This is Trading Your Lifestyle with Mike Ross. So, what's up, guys? It's been a while.
It's been a stressful day.
Not really. I mean, the rain finally
let up a little bit, yeah.
Well,
It's coming back tomorrow.
We had record rainfall.
I was out there on 360. It looked like a river. It was awesome.
I don't know about awesome.
Definitely not awesome.
No.
I thought it was cool. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, the rain is great because we got, almost 8-9 inches of rain. You know what I mean? So, actually more than that, 8 feet.
Yeah.
8-9 feet of rain. So
It's crazy.
Big stuff. So, what's up, guys? Today, we're talking about education. So, that's going to be our topic today. We're going to talk about education. We're going to talk about learning. We're going to talk about how education affects your lifestyle and how education can help you trade your lifestyle. So, John, tell us, what do you think about education or your background and what you have going on, and how you got to be to where you are and what you learned along the way?
Education, number one, it's the foundation for anyone striving for greatness. You always have to be a student. You have to constantly be learning, constantly learning more, not even just about Forex and trading your lifestyle, moreover, learning about yourself, because Forex is literally 80 to 90% you. Right?
Yes.
So just constantly self-educating yourself on being great, and then education in general, we never stop learning.
How do you think people become great?
Great is a process. And again, just really being educated. A lot of people are not, they think learning ends with school.
Yeah.
And many even think it ends with high school, and that's okay. But they will not reach their greatness, and that's not my opinion. That's just facts. If you don't learn some sort of skill set or continue to grow individually, I mean, it's tough to be great.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. I mean, I guess you can consider what you said. What about you, D Nice? You're the young man. You're the one that has, well, I won't say all the potential, but you have the most years of potential of doing or becoming whatever you want to do.
So let's start off. I dropped out of college, just so you guys
That's
know.
okay.
But hey, I think I learned more being out of like actual school and like real life than I did while I was in school.
Why?
Because, for example, like in high school, what did I learn? I learned that I didn't really like being around a lot of people. The people come in different sizes and shapes and ways of being and stuff like that. And then you put them in the team together, they kind of clash. They work together, but they don't really like each other, just kind of forced to play along. And then, you learn basic math and stuff, but you don't really learn anything that'll help you get through certain stuff in your life later on. I learned more of that stuff through working at a shop or selling cars. Like, you learn how to work with people. You learn more valuable life lessons in the real world than you will in school, from my point of view.
I think I like the way you.
If that makes sense.
I like the way.
Yeah, I agree.
I like the way you ended that. You learn more life lessons. I think there are two types of knowledge that you can get. There's always book knowledge. And book knowledge is something that you can absorb, that you can actually take in and you can learn. You don't have to have physical hands-on on what you're doing, but it's a blueprint. It's a guideline. I think there's the core educational parts that I think everyone needs is mathematics. and that varies in various different degrees. The other thing is English or written English or comprehending English, and I think that gets you through pretty much writing whatever you want to and can handle any type of fields that you are. And then the last part is really just the comprehensive part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just taking in whatever knowledge that you have and being able to absorb it and then apply it. And I think that's what I think education and learning can be. One of the things is that I was blessed. My mom was a teacher, so education was always a big priority in platforming growing up in the 60s as I did. I was born in the 60s, and in the 60s and 70s, education was for minorities, education was the great roadblock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is that you had to have some form of formal education where it was noted, where you had a degree or whatever to actually have any type of credibility or validity. I think that has changed.
I agree completely, though.
Over the last 3 or 4 years. You know what I mean? And I think there's certain degrees that you can get, or certain things that you have where you have to have some sort of formal training. To be an educator, you have to have a teaching certificate, or to be a plumber or master plumber, you have to pass certain boards, or to be an engineer, or to be even a hairstylist or a cosmetologist, you have to pass the test for your cosmetology license. So I think there are always some forms of education that that give you a skill set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That backs up. I think that where we're looking at that's different nowadays is the way that you get your education, correct?
Yeah.
So,
Definitely.
I mean, I think because it becomes a cost factor. So, I mean, John, tell me tell me a little bit about your family and how education was presented to you and what got you to where you are.
I always have to go back to my dad when I think about education. My dad went on to college. He was an All-American in sports, and he went on to play professional. And
Did he get his degree?
He did not.
Okay.
And so he instilled that we did, and he ended up obviously getting after a handful of years in playing professional sports. I mean, he had to, go back to normal life, right? Mm-hmm. And he realized that falling short of not obtaining his degree shifted him to really just take what life gave him. Now, he fell in the lap of the oil and gas industry, and he's excelled greatly because of his work ethic. But in the beginning, he had a crazy learning curve because he really stopped learning, And I don't mean to piggyback on what D. Nice was talking about. I don't mean when we say education that you have to go, to college or anything like that. It depends on obviously what your aspirations are. But what I mean is we can keep learning in general, rather that's through other people, rather that's through books or YouTube or seminars and things like that. I just mean that learning is obviously key and fundamental to reaching whatever one's full potential is. And because my dad, for example, he did not continue on, finishing what he started with his degree. He had to take what life gave him based on the fundamentals that he did learn. And there's a ton of people that find great success being self-taught and constantly just learning whatever it is that they're trying to be great at. And so with that definitely inspired me. Okay, I definitely didn't want to take whatever life gave me. So I continued to educate myself in my craft. And at that time, I wanted to be a fitness expert, a fitness entrepreneur. And so I got certifications. I went to college and got my degree in exercise physiology, but I also knew I wanted my own business in that field. So I got a business degree as well. And through learning the basics of being a fitness entrepreneur, obviously I also had to learn how to actually run a business. They don't teach you that with the degree. That part of learning, I had to keep growing to learn. But a lot of people, they always want to make, I want to start my own business at whatever that may be. But because they don't really research that clearly or continue learning, many businesses fail. And then most of the time, it's not because of a poor product. It's most of the time it's because that person stopped growing personally, and they're not really educated in the field that they were going for. And I personally think a lot of businesses fail because of just that. Like, people don't get educated, really immerse themselves in the education of whatever, field that they seek. And so I always lean into my dad because he got into his field, and because he wasn't fully educated, he just had to take the pay that they were offering. He had to take, whatever positions that were offered. He couldn't really negotiate that.
Yeah.
And I think that's key.
Yeah, it happened to me. I think I'll go a little bit somewhat differently. If you're a minority, you have to be educated. It's just point.
That's true.
You know what I mean? It just points down, hands down, whatever. So you have to be educated, and the more you're educated, the more you. And let me put it this way, and I'm going to say this, and I hope I'm not going to. It's not really being educated. The more certifications or actually degrees or
Pieces of paper.
Yeah, pieces of paper that you have that show that you completed a process or you're mastering a process or licenses that you have, then I think the better off you be is, coming from a minority standpoint of view. And the reason why I say this is that no matter what happens in life, you will always experience some form of nepotism. You know what I mean? Of where I own my own business and I hire Damien because he's my friend. You know what I mean? Or John because he's my brother or my friend or whatever the circumstances are, your cousin or whatever. But that's where nepotism comes into play. And there's no fault of that. You know what I mean? You're the business owner. You should be able to hire whomever you think is able to do the job best for you or that is best suited for your company. I think that you do enter into some fringes of alienating people when you operate under those guidelines, and I think that's why you deal with other aspects as minority participation, affirmative action, any type of disability laws or religious laws that you have to deal with from giving people equal opportunity to employment. So going back on what I was saying is that education is important because it's a necessity for you to learn not only what the business is doing, but to actually combine what Damien said is actually to learn practical experiences or practical application of how the process of working is done. And yes, they're right. I think that a lot of, I would say 40 to 50% of any job that anybody goes to, you're going to learn that job right there. The other probably 20 or 30% is going to be common sense. And then the rest is going to be some sort of skill that you probably learn or some sort of applied knowledge through some sort of form of comprehensive learning, literature, videos, training, et cetera, that actually you get to. But, we sound so serious talking about education.
I'm not saying to drop out of college. We're just saying, hey.
Well, and actually, I'm not saying that college is actually always the key, but I'm saying you should do something. So you want to learn how to code and you want to be a video game programmer, go get a C++, certification.
Yeah.
Or Apple certification.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or some sort of or get involved in some sort of program that offers you some sort of accredited certification. When you were a trainer, you got your training certification.
Yeah, I had to have it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it made you, what made you legit. I mean, you literally could have said from the experience that you have, you could have went off and you could have.
You could have walked up to somebody, look at my arms, bro. I got the certifications.
Yeah. I look at that. I look at the gun show. No. But literally, you could have easily trained people without really having your certification.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But once you get your certification, you're legit. You can walk into any gym, not naming
Ton
any type
more
of gym.
credibility.
Exactly.
A lot more
so you can walk into any gym and get any entry level training program.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, position that's offered as long as you have your certification.
It's true.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's what we're saying. So how do we get people? And I guess the question is, and this is okay. I'm just gonna say this, and this is the key thing that it is. The reason why we're having this conversation and topic is that most people don't take education serious. Correct?
Nope.
No, they don't.
Okay.
They blow it off.
I sure
blows
did in
off.
college.
Well, I mean, this is what it is. People do what they want to do. If they seem that doing something else outside of the learning process is not important than going out to have drinks or going to the pool party or whatever, then the pool party takes precedence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
I think, am I not right or wrong?
It happens all the time.
Yeah. I mean, but why? Why do you guys think that happens?
You can.
YOLO.
YOLO.
That's what people think nowadays.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's.
Explain YOLO to them.
You only live once.
Okay.
They're taking part of the moment,
There you go. Okay. So everybody wants the YOLO.
which is not smart. You can't like I was talking to John. You can't look a week ahead. You got to look farther in your life. Like, you got to look farther into the future. You can't just be like, oh, pool party's today. I'm going to go to that pool party. Instead of looking at, I need to pass this class. This class will give me this, which will be able to long term to give me my diploma, whatever. Then I'll be able to get this job or do whatever I want to do this way. It's not, this pool party is going to help me later on in life. You know what I'm saying? It might help your tolerance with alcohol, which might help you out later on in life, but that's not going to help you anywhere financially or get forward in your life in any way.
Well, there are two things that you could say. I could always say this, is that it's how you go in and you look at the pool party.
Yeah.
If you look at the pool party as a networking event or some type of event where you possibly can meet something, I'm not saying that the pool party is the wrong idea. That's not what I'm saying.
It's just the priorities of schoolwork compared to the pool party.
Well, the biggest thing I heard, and I just studied this other thing, and the first thing, and I'm not gonna lie, I got it from Gary V. The first thing that actually is, or the first principle or characteristic that you need in educating or educating yourself is self-awareness.
Yeah.
Yep.
Self-awareness. And the reason why I say this, if you know who you are and you know what you're doing and where you're going and what you're about, you can go to the pool party, but you're still going to have whatever priorities that you have up at the forefront, right?
Yeah. I mean, if you're focused on greatness, you can go to the pool party and it actually can be productive. Or you can, by networking, or maybe there's somewhere, there that's on a similar journey as you, is studying the same thing, or, could be a connection to get you into, whatever adventure that you're looking for, as far as, or endeavor, I guess I should say. I mean, it can be positive.
Well, I mean, you said it right. It was either the adventure or the endeavor, and that's it. Me personally, if I was to let you know the inside of my self-awareness is that I'm willing to work and on any day of the week to make money.
Yeah.
All day long.
All day long.
All night long.
Any day. You know what I mean? If you were to call me and you were to say, Mike, I need help. I'm taking my car to get detailed and I'm getting ready to pay some guy $150. I'm like, well, bring it over to my house. I'll do it for $75. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought you were going a different way. I was going to be like, yeah, yesterday night you were helping me with a drawing at like 2 a.m.
Oh, well,
But-
I mean, that's that too. To me, there are no closed hours of business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not unless I'm asleep and I don't actually hear the phone. If I hear the phone and I get a message or whatever, and it's somebody that I talk to on a regular basis, that I talk to business-wise on a regular basis, I'm going to give you a call back. If you call me at 1:30 and I answer you back, and I usually say, call me. And I tell you, I'm sorry, I'm not a millennial. I really am not. I'm not one of these new persons. You got 3 texts, and after that, you got to call me.
Yep.
You got to have.
Today was a good example of that,
I'm
guys.
like, I'm not in the mood to text more than 3 really good sentences. If I go past a paragraph texting, it has to automatically really turn into a phone call, and that's just me. It's easier to.
It's probably more effective.
It just gets it done. Yeah, no, it sometimes helps. Until he FaceTimes me and I'm trying to like show him what's on the screen and I'm holding the paper up like this and like trying to movement.
He had a.
It works.
He had a question. I actually have the same set of plans, but they were all the way in my car, parked out back, which means I was going to have to go outside to go get the drawings.
It was like 2 a.m. It's not a big deal.
Possible rain.
Well, it was sprinkling raining, but I was kind of up checking the weather, because of something else that was going on. But I was up to seeing whether the rain was not. But I just told him, dude, I can't get it. And so we just basically just FaceTime, and I had him show me what was that. But that's a whole nother area of what it is. But those are the links that I will go to, is that I will work at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, even on a conference call. So people say, like, you had a conference call at 2 o'clock? Yeah.
It works. Sometimes that's the best time to do it. Your brain's kind of like chill and your juices are flowing.
Well, you don't have to worry about incoming phone calls.
Yeah, there's not
No
really.
interruptions. No interruptions.
So this is what I was going to bring up. So, John, we had a big educational thing just this past week. What did you get out of it?
How did that go, by the way? Yeah.
It was amazing on my end, but I would say the main thing I got out of it is anybody, doesn't matter their age, race, creed, belief, whatever, can accomplish learning how to day trade in the Forex market. That was number one lesson I learned outside of all of the other endeavors. When you see someone else can, get educated in a new endeavor like Forex and day trading and things like that, if someone else can do it, so can you. Yeah. This isn't you have to, run a 4.3 40-yard dash in order to get an opportunity.
Yeah.
This isn't you got to pass the bar.
Yeah, you don't have to. Well, you do have. I will say this: you do have to have some aptitude. I'm not gonna lie. You got to have some aptitude, and you have to be able to decipher a little bit between.
You got to be able to do like very basic math.
Well, not
even math.
But the comprehension part of it.
Comprehension for sure.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. If they're willing to be educated, they may take longer than someone else like yourself. But I am saying that anyone could do it. It just, now, would they get it done as quick as they would like? And, due to the comprehension level, maybe not.
I agree with you guys 100%. The only reason I go back to and I say to what Damien just said, the key word is YOLO. Is that, do you want to YOLO and get down with your money? You know what I mean? That's really the key. You know what I mean? Me personally, I don't understand it. You know what I mean? You only live once. You make your money. You don't want to make. I don't understand that principle. So
staying comfortable.
I
don't stay comfortable. Is that what you're trying to get?
Well, no, not you being comfortable. I'm not talking about, in general. I just don't. I'm talking about people. I'm talking about the people that are looking at us. Those are the people that are sometimes comfortable.
Yeah.
This is what I'm telling you. If you talking to me about making money right now, if you talk to me right now and say, hey, man, we're going to go down over my buddy's house. He's going to give us $100 a piece for helping him move 3 dressers downstairs. I'm saying, let's go get in the car.
Yeah.
That's an easy.
But you're an opportunist. All people are not opportunists.
For money?
Not everybody.
It's like
especially when people are talking about being broke and borrowing.
Listen.
Hey, it's like what John said, like that first episode he was on. Some people are motivated by money, and some people don't know that they're motivated by money.
And that's true. Listen. In the next 15 or so minutes, I have a small gathering about how they can make money from their phone. And I do this every other Sunday. And you know what? Most of these people, some will show up, some won't. And it's because people, some people aren't hungry for opportunity. They don't understand that.
What are they hungry for? Like giving out this? What is this?
I can't answer that.
I'm not saying that people are homeless or people have to be. I mean, what's the other word that people use for people that stand on the street corner and beg?
Beggar.
Panhandlers?
Panhandlers. Thank you.
That's a professional. That's a professional.
Thank you. That is the politically correct terminology for panhandlers. I'm not panhandling for you to give me a handout. You know what I mean? And I guess that's, people look and say, whatever your politics are or whatever's going on in your life or whatever. I'm not saying if you're down and out that some service couldn't be provided for you for temporary housing or temporary food or temporary clothing or anything like that. I think everybody gets down on their luck where they might need a particular service like that. But what I'm talking about is that people that are holding their hand out, looking for you to give them money, and sometimes that's what an employee is that you're holding your hand out, looking for somebody to give you, and you don't even invest any time learning or educating yourself to get above and beyond where you are.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we had this conversation really 2 weeks ago when we were talking about you don't do shit, you don't get shit.
That's how it is. It's the roadmap to greatness. You got to do shit to get shit.
No, so
or you may not be shit.
You're exactly right on that. That's cool. But how do we get to people to grab or reach for their greatness?
Unfortunately,
you can't help people that can't be helped.
Well, that too. But unfortunately, it starts. I hate to really say it, but it starts before the programming of their mind. Like, for example, everyone grows up with some sort of dream or ambition or, this is what their perfect life would look like. A lot of people grow up into that, and then something changes. Something scares them, spooks them, programs them to just take mediocrity. And unfortunately, that's how the world goes round. I don't know that there is much we can do. It depends on their age and their deeper belief level. Some people, as they age, they start to just lose grip of their beliefs. But one way is just self-reflect and seeing, hey, are you where you thought you would be at the age 30, 40, 50, 60, 80 years old? And many people will, the ones that say, well, not really. Then maybe we can help them. But a lot of people don't admit those truths.
That's self-awareness. I mean, I think we're going back to where we are. I think, you want me to be honest, most of y'all are bullshit anyway. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is, and the reason why you're bullshit is that you're too many people. I'm guilty of it too. We what I call in life perpetrating a fraud, and not being a fraud in general, but showing a lifestyle that probably is a little bit beyond our realm or our reach or things like that. Now, in this show that we're talking about trading your lifestyle is what it is.
Yeah.
But we have too many 40-hour-a-week workers going out on Friday and Saturday night, popping bottles, or making
what they don't have,
making a rain.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Just like the biggest waste of money you can have.
Exactly, just so that you can keep up with the Joneses. You know what I mean? Or we won't give anybody else. And if somebody's name's just Jones that listen to us, we're not talking to you. Not unless you were at the club last week popping bottles or making it rain when you had an electric bill and Pampers to buy.
You're right. Yeah.
And I think that's part of the education. That's the part of the education, and the first part of the education that we all should realize is that where we are and who we are, and can you afford that lifestyle? Do you want to afford a different lifestyle? I think because of videos and music and rap videos and all types of lifestyles and TV and reality shows, that people have this illusion of who and what they want to be.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? I mean, people hate Kim Kardashian and the Kardashians, but they're what, $100 and some $1 million empire?
Yeah.
There's
I mean,
something.
They can pop bottles all day, though. You know what I mean?
But no one understands where, and they probably didn't do a whole lot. It was generational wealth, but no one understands that there was a process before they ended up on TV and ended up in those success. And people want to shortcut the process.
But this is what people don't understand. Even though it's generational wealth, and tell me if this wrong, right or wrong, they understand the process of flipping their money.
Yeah.
They mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to remember the Kardashians. They didn't parlay their money. They parlayed the money that they had to build the empire that they have now.
It's all part of the process.
You know what I mean?
They started injecting themselves.
Huh?
Yeah.
And started injecting themselves.
Hey, all bullshit aside, though, there was a cost for them to do it.
Yeah.
They had to afford the appointment. They didn't walk up to the
To Mexico and go get it done.
They weren't panhandling.
Yeah, they weren't panhandling to get.
the money.
Can I get a free service? Can I get a lift here? Can I get a move
Get
here?
this tucked.
Yeah, you know what I mean. People in that particular position don't panhandle to get a. Nobody's walking and say, "Hey, look, I'm going." I can't go down to my dentist and say, "Hey, look, I want to be on TV and I need free veneers."
No, yeah, it won't work. That won't work. That won't work.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need a free $4,000 to $10,000 process. You know what I mean? So that's why I go. The biggest thing is to what was that?
Sorry.
I do know.
I was like the biggest thing that you can do is that you can invest in yourself.
We're coming up on 30-something minutes,
Okay,
just so you know.
you got people that are coming in.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jay
it's all right.
Spence has got to go.
It's all right.
He's a busy, popular man.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know about that. Busy, yes.
So
Dude,
let me
you're
ask
a
you this.
smoothie king.
So we're doing this and we're talking. So what can we give people? This is one of the other things that I was listening to Jordan Peterson also on YouTube. He was on the Joe Rogan show, and he was talking about people. People a lot of times don't invest in educating themselves or doing because they look at it as a game that they can't win.
Yeah.
I can see that.
You know what I mean?
I looked at it that way.
Well, and I guess the process they do and what he was saying is that people look at it and I guess they just go under the scenario is that life is full of winners and losers. Either you're a winner or you're a loser. And what Jordan Peterson was talking about, that's not necessarily the case.
It's not.
Because life is not winners and losers. Life is a bunch of games or a series of games that you win and lose. And sometimes a person that has won all the time, and I guess Tiger Woods won today. So we're talking about somebody that has been a
Through
winner,
a lot of ups and downs.
a winner, and had some downs,
Yeah.
and is now back on top. But isn't that the American dream?
Some people take it personal when they lose.
Well, I mean, they do take it. I mean, I take
Some people take it personal when they win, and then they get big at
you
it.
gotta learn from them mistakes.
I know, but I take it personal when I lose. I'm not saying that I'm not going to sit here and just say I'm going to be like smelling the roses and whenever I lose, I'm not. I'm probably the one of the biggest bad sports. I won't say I don't have bad sportsmanship. You're
just competitive.
I'm one of the biggest bad losers that there is. I might not say anything, but
Deep down inside, it's
Oh,
burning
my
you up.
God, it's just like killing me. If we were playing tennis and you beat me, you know what? I'm going to be practicing and playing tennis all damn week, waiting for the next opportunity to challenge you.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
funny.
the same way.
And when I do, I'm gonna want to knock your head off and beat you down. But the thing about it is that it's temporary because at the next point you could win, I could win. It goes back and forth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have a series of different things. So we're gonna have to get ready and wrap this up because
Everyone's kind of busy after this.
Everyone except for me. These guys,
You were busy all day this morning.
These guys have appointments. I have nothing to do, so maybe I'll just sit here and have a conversation with you guys and talk to you myself. I'll sit here by myself and look like a goofball on the microphones.
You're talking to the world.
I wanna be.
All by myself. Anyway, so Damien, give him your Instagrams over here because we kind of briefly touched on education. We're going to come back and touch that topic too. But go ahead.
Like, if I'm not mistaken, it's dnice18 on Instagram.
You changed it.
I did. I just don't remember what I changed it to.
Yeah,
Mr. Dnice at 18 on Instagram.
Yeah, he's right. Jay Spence, let him know.
Mr. J Spence on Instagram.
And I am Well Simplified on Instagram. I am Mike Ross on Facebook. I am the real Mike Ross. This is Trading Your Lifestyles of Dollars and Decisions TV. And we are out, people.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
Later.